Hello, everyone. I am making this quick video to clear up any confusion about the final project and to make sure that we are all on the same exact page. Everything you need for this assignment has already been provided in multiple places. The syllabus, the week one overview video announcement, and it's starting about at the 10-minute, 45 second timestamp. I have provided feedback on weekly discussion spaces for anyone who had questions, and there have been several course announcements, including the most recent update. But I want to pause and walk through the expectations one more time. Okay. First, what this project is. This is a simulated community engagement quality improvement project. So you are not actually going to your local organization doing any real world intervention. You are not implementing any changes in your actual agency or organization that you selected. Instead, what you are doing is you're practicing how quality improvement works using publicly available information. And then you're going to be using your classmates as simulated participants to evaluate this change. Okay, so this is going to be a learning lab. So the goal is simple. You're going to choose a local organization that addresses a health and societal issue. You're going to use information from the website or any other public materials to identify a small, realistic gap, quality gap. You're going to choose a smart aim to address that gap. You're going to design a low burden improvement idea. You're going to test that idea with your classmates. You're going to, and this is going to be through a PDSA cycle, Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle, which is a quality improvement tool. You're going to reflect on what happened and you're going to submit a paper. That's it. Okay. I have provided in your syllabus weekly suggestions, and they were there to help you pace yourself so that you wouldn't be waiting until the very last minute and feel overwhelmed. I have allowed you to post various um, examples on the weekly module assignments. And I strongly encouraged you to do this so that I could provide ongoing feedback, give you some suggestions, provide additional ideas, and to help you course correct along the way. But again, this was voluntary. What matters most is by the end of the course, you complete all the components of the project. I will break down what the different weeks said in the syllabus, just so you are clear. You were supposed to select an organization, again, identify the community they work with, what are the different stakeholders um, uh, that are impacted by this organization, what are the different barriers and gaps that this organization helps to address. So you just want to get an overview of this organization and who this organization addresses or who this organization works with. What are the different stakeholders for the organization? It's important to identify this information because you're going to write this up in your final paper. I also wanted you to identify a small gap, write a smart aim, design an intervention to address that gap, describe the before state, decide how you will measure the improvement from the before to the after state using peer feedback. That PDSA cycle is moving from that before state to the after state and using your peer evaluation to give you some insight on if there was some improvement from the before and after. You're going to reflect on those results and you're going to submit your final paper as well as the project materials. Okay. So, what are the kind of gaps that are acceptable? So, again, we're not looking to fix entire systems. We're looking for small, practical intervention. Is there something on the website that was confusing? Is the eligibility criteria for accessing service, is that unclear? Is the contact information hard to find on the website? Are there any accessibilities or language issues? The donation steps, are they complicated? So again, you can identify any small interventions, so any small gap, and then create a small intervention, whether it's clear, frequently asked questions, simplifying a flyer, rewriting the instructions. So these are just some small examples, but again, you can select anything and you can create any intervention, and I will provide feedback on that intervention if you decide to post it in advance in the weekly module. So, what is important is what you need to submit. So to receive any credit for your final project, you need to submit all of the following. What was the original before product? So a screenshot, right? Whatever the initial version was of the website, or um, that that you decided there was a gap that was identified. And then what's the after product, right? So what did you do to sort of enhance that original product, right? And you are going to ask your peers for feedback based off of the before and after. And you are going to submit the original responses from your peers. And then based off of those responses, you're going to make a recommendation to the organization. Okay, again, a simulated recommendation to the organization. And in your syllabus, it shows you exactly what that final paper is going to consist of. You're going to describe your organization, what's the gap you identified, what's the aim, how did you measure it, what was the intervention, what was your reflection, and you are going to use 5 references in this paper. Okay, all of this again outlined in your syllabus, outlined in the announcements. So, what I need from you now, reread the final project section of your syllabus. Rewatch the week 1 overview video. Again, it starts about the 10-minute and 45-second mark. Post any specific questions that you have in the discussion section, because if you do post this, then your classmates will be able to see the responses and your questions as well. So sending an email like I don't understand the project, it doesn't help me. If you are as specific as possible, then I can respond. Okay. Again, you can rewatch this video as much as you need, or you can submit questions to me either on the discussion section on the or in an email. I created just an example. I just really quickly did it, so don't judge me. I am going to share my screen. Let's see, screen 2. And so again, this is just a mock example of something that can be done. Please don't use this exact example. So I selected a local organization, Baltimore Connect. I looked through their website. Their website they have, and they are a 503 5013C organization. So they receive donations in order for their work to really be funded. So here is their donate section. It says make a gift, make a donation to Baltimore Connect. You can tap the link below. So you click on this link below here, and then it brings you to this section. And what I identified was, hey, right now it looks like they only have Google Pay as an easy sort of option to click and donate. What would happen if I included other options such as Cash App, Venmo, Zelle? Would this perhaps increase the chances of receiving quick donations? Okay, so the goal is that I want to make donating faster and more accessible. So what I did was that, hey, I again simulated, created an image of a website where not only do you use Google Pay, but you could click on Cash App, you can click on Venmo, and you can click on Zelle. Okay, so this was my intervention. And these are some questions that I'm going to ask my peers. After looking at the revised donation page, how easy would it be for you to donate right now? Compared to the original version, does the updated page feel more convenient? Do the added payment options increase the likelihood that you're going to donate? Were the payment options clearly visible, easy to find? Which payment method would you personally be most likely to use? Before this change, would the lack of your preferred payment options have stopped you from donating, right? And then maybe I open it to question. Now, you do not have to include this many questions. It's up to you, but I'm just giving you some examples on questions you can ask your peers. So you're going to ask 5 to 6 of your peers to complete the survey, send it back to you, right? You're going to collect that information, you're going to reflect, and then you're going to make a final recommendation. Yeah. So this is what I would recommend to this organization based off of the feedback, right? And you're going to write a paper. You're going to include that original screenshot. You're going to include how you revised it, and you're going to include the responses from your peers. And that's it. Okay. So again, we are halfway through this course. Um, every discussion, every announcement, the syllabus, everything has been preparing you for this moment. You already have what you need to succeed. I am here to support you. Um, so please review this video, review the announcements, review the syllabus. Please reach out with any specific questions that you may have. And I look forward to seeing these projects as they come together. Thanks.